Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter with another Frugal Friday video for you, and this has to do with using wax seals. Now, the first frugal tip I'm going to give you is that if you don't have wax seals, you can use crayons. They'll be a little softer and they will mark up the inside of your envelope, but it's not a big deal if you're doing it on a card here. I'm going to use real wax seals because they're pretty affordable. On Amazon, you can get a whole set like this for a couple dollars. It's not very pricey at all, but yes, you can use crayons. You could even use exhausted, like scented wax melts for this if you want. And I'm going to be using a mug warmer, but you could also use a wax melter if you have one of those like Scentsy wax melters, as long as it has like a flat top on it that you can set your bottle caps on. So what you're going to need is some bottle caps. These are just reused bottle caps that came off of beer or soda, or whatever you have that's got a metal bottle cap. And I recommend you go for some that are like the twist off ones or that are flat. This one has been bent from like a bottle opener. That's not going to work quite as well because you want that flat surface to be against the heat pad on your mug warmer there. So you can mix colors, like I've done some purple and silver for that one. I've done some red and bronze on that one. I've done just a bunch of gold, or you can use your own colors. And it's really fun because you get a really pretty look, and it's a lot easier than trying to hold your little wax melts over a candle in a little spoon like this. That takes quite a while, and then you've got to have an open flame around where you're crafting, and if you're anything like me who always has their table piled up with junk, it's not a great idea. So so I like this quite a bit. Well, you know what, why don't I just put those right in there? And I like to put at least like 6 of these little pellets in there, because it takes about 3 to get a good impression, but you're not going to be able to dump everything out all at once, so it's good to have a little bit extra. I think maybe I'll put one of these browns in there. So it only takes a couple minutes for them to melt down. And sometimes you'll see, I don't see any in these, but there's a little plastic seal in here, and the heat will make that let go sometimes, and you'll see this little thing poking up in the wax. Just pull that out with your fingers or a tweezer and it's fine. It's just that seal that is in the cap that keeps your drink from spilling when it's been bottled. All right, I'm gonna set this aside and close it so I don't spill it. You can also get these here that you light with a candle, you light with a lighter, and then you like just drip onto your project. But the thing I don't like about these is that sometimes, like on this one, the wick kind of gets burned up and disappears, and it's hard to keep it lit. And then you've also just got to hold it and wait, and sometimes your wax can actually cool off on you before you get a chance to use a wax stamper. And if you don't care about using a wax stamper, then these will probably be just as convenient and cheap, because you don't need to even have any apparatus like this. But any hot plate you have is going to work well for this type of application. So here is a card that I just put together, and I thought it would be fun to use the wax melts to adhere this this cute little leaf I have. I'm just going to kind of tuck that under the little string that I tied on there. And this leaf is not perfect. It's actually got some, like, it's a spray painted skeleton leaf. And I think I got this years ago from the Paper Wishes catalog. Anyway, it's got a blob there. I really want my seal to be over here, but I think I'll drip a little extra over there just to make it look nice. Now you want to be careful because these could be pretty hot. Like if you go to pick it up with your fingers, yeah, it's a little hot there. So what I'm using are these Dollar Tree tools. These are finger cots. And this is actually sold in the, Crafter Square aisle. This is sold in the like cosmetic aisle. They're soak off nail caps. They're these silicone little sleeves. So you could put like a cotton ball and nail polish in if you want to like let your nail polish soak off, I guess, if it's difficult to remove. But these are nice because they're silicone and your fingers aren't going to get burned. So like I said, you want more wax than you need. And then I actually kind of set it and try to reposition so I can tip it a little bit easier, but I'm just going to dump out a bunch so I go over my string and my leaf, and I'm going to do a little drop over there. It's a little sloppy looking because I wanted to cover up that other bit. And then you could set, I'd have like a piece of parchment or silicone to set that on. I just didn't think of doing that already. And then I'm just going to set my stamper on there and let it cool. So yeah, I would definitely have like a little piece of parchment paper or wax paper or something so you can just set your bottle cap down if it's a little oogie before you're done. I can wipe that off with a cloth while it's still hot on the surface there, so don't worry about that. If you're doing a bunch of crafting, just wipe it off when you're done and you'll be fine. And I'm not sure if this has cooled yet. I'm going to try to feel the brass. Still feels a little bit warm. So while that is cooling, you can also use a rubber stamp instead of a wax sealer if you don't have a wax sealer. And you can also actually have a dish or a bag of ice cubes, and you can set the seal on the bag of ice cubes so that you don't have to wait so long for this to come off. So I'm full of all kinds of tips. I'm not demonstrating. But if you want to use a rubber stamp for this, you want to ink it up with glycerin or clear embossing ink before you stamp it down. Or you can ink it up with pigment ink, but you do need to like get it in all the nooks and crannies. That way it'll release cleanly. So let's just see. Oh, there we go. We've got our little wax seal, and it's a little envelope with a heart on it. This one's by Altenew. There's all kinds of really cool designs, and you can also just buy the heads and add them onto the handle if you already have a handle. I like the sets that are available on Amazon because you can get like six different designs and one handle, and it's like $25 or something, so they're very affordable, and they come in like I've got a Harry Potter set. There's botanicals, there's celestial designs, there's bees, anything you can imagine, and I just think they have such a classy look on a card. And there, I don't have to use any glue to hold that skeleton leaf down. There's no grease spot in the middle, and that's keeping my my twine from sliding around too, which I really like. So there you have it. I hope you found this Frugal Friday tip helpful, and I just think it's a lot easier than trying to fiddle with these little spoons over an open flame. So there you have it. You could also put embossing powder in your caps too if you wanted to do that. You could mix embossing powder and wax, or embossing powder in your crayons. If you wanted to have a little bit more of a harder seal, but you didn't have the commercially made waxes, you could do that. So, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do. I recommend having good ventilation anytime you're melting stuff. But other than that, it's a pretty simple process, and I hope you give it a try. And if you don't want such a strong marble effect, you could stir it up with a toothpick before you poured it out, and you would get more of a soft look. But there you have it, Frugal Friday. I hope you liked it, and until next time, happy crafting.